at cabin now. I came here to do the lab test. Yesterday they called me to come and do the lab test, and now I came here around 7 something, and I go to EMA to do the lab test, but still waiting for 3 hours. So I'm still at the cabin. Yeah.
So after the lab test, what will be happening?
They said I should wait for 3 hours. So I'm waiting for them. If it comes, they will put me on list to do the dialysis.
Okay. So will that be happening today? In case it comes out and everything is fine, are you starting the dialysis?
If I probably bring it. If I get the lab test now, so tomorrow I'll start doing the dialysis.
Alright, sure.
Yeah.
I'm a bit relieved after this. It's quite better than doing it outside. Yes. I'm more comfortable doing it over here than outside places.
So you've spent some of your months doing it in a private facility, I guess. How would you compare their services to the ones that you receive here at Korle Bu?
For Korle Bu is the best.
Oh, that's a welcoming news. At least God has listened to our cry. We know the fight has not ended yet, but we keep fighting for the right thing to be done. So we really appreciate Korle Bu for hearing our cry, the government hearing our cry, and then finally asking us to do our lab. As you can see, I've just come for my request to go and do my lab, so that maybe on my next session I can easily have access to the place.
Okay. You are making mention of other challenges. What could that be?
The other challenges that we're going, if we don't take care per our source, and if we don't take care as they reopen, maybe in a month or two the place will be closer. If the external things that we're talking about has not been done, the owning of the physicians, and then I think we will need more machines.
I couldn't agree more. Good stuff there for those who are in need of dialysis. But have you heard anything from hospital authorities regarding the reopening of the OPD, particularly on the debt owed by the centre?
All right, before I go, officials from the facility are yet to speak with me on this development, but we will advise viewers to keep an eye out for more updates when the health minister talks to Parliament this afternoon on the matter. But viewers should also stay tuned for continuous updates on this encouraging development as the renal unit here at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital opens its doors to usher in a new chapter of healthcare accessibility for those grappling with kidney disease. It is indeed good news.
Godwin, thank you so much for bringing us that important story. Godwin Asediba there.
Well, in another fast-developing story, the Trade Union Congress, the TUC, says the implementation of a 24-hour economy by a future NDC administration will be the game-changer for the country. The former president and NDC's flag-bearer, John Mahama, in an engagement with the TUC, has hinted of his intention to create a 3-shift work schedule to address the worsening unemployment situation in the country. And we're going live now to the Trades Union Congress, where Komla Kluche is with the former president for details. Hi, Komla, many thanks. What has the former president been saying to start off with about this policy he intends to introduce if given the nod?
Well, John Mahama has been speaking regarding the issue about unemployment in the country. He makes the point that, I mean, if you look at the figures, it's nothing to write home about. He makes the admission that during the NDC time, yes, there was unemployment in the country, but it has been exacerbated within the current administration. And so there's a need for the country to have a pragmatic approach in dealing with the issue. The public sector, we all know, is choked and that they are unable to get more people into the sector. And so there's a need to be able to fine-tune it and then create more opportunities for people who intend to also work within the sector. But how does he intend to do all of this? Well, he is yet to actually outline in details or in full details how this is going to run. But what essentially it will mean is that there will be 3 shifts one will come in the morning, one comes in the afternoon, and the other will come in the evening. And so it's a cyclical thing, and nobody would be left out, especially people who have issues regarding the unemployment. TUC welcome this. Dr. Yao says this is a beautiful thing, and that he thinks that there's a need for John Mahama to be supported in this. If he's able to make it to become the head of state, well, implementation of this would be a good thing. Dr. Yao was speaking to the flag bearer of the NDC just a short while ago.
Komla, we'll hear from Dr. Yao shortly, but the former president has been speaking. We know this is not the first time he's been hinting of this 3-work shift system. It was in the 2020 manifesto. Is there anything new this time round that's going to be added to this shift system he's seeking to introduce?
No, not much details has been given by him in this meeting with the TUC. We do not know if he doesn't intend to put all his guns out or his arsenals out, but it's just a brief of what he intends to do. But to be able to attain this, there's a need for him to have this engagement with the stakeholders like he's doing. But he's also been speaking on how he intends to handle the TUC on their part, Workers' Manifesto, and he indicated that he will inculcate the Workers' Manifesto into the People's Manifesto of the NDC, and that the harsher economic conditions under the government has been self-inflicted. He spoke about how the handling of the economy has not been good, how the debt stock had ballooned under the current administration, noting that if you take the current debt level of the country, if it's shared for the 30 million people of the country, each one of us would be paying 19,000 and over cedis. But John Mahama has been hitting hard also at the government on the mismanagement of the economy.
Of ideas on how to solve the economic challenges we find ourselves in. And by his recent declaration, his focus and last energies are going to be expended on installing his anointed successor as the next president. Comrades, we could have avoided this unpleasant situation. The signs of this crisis were there for all to see. A conflicted finance minister whose only interest was to borrow endlessly and mar our economy in the quagmire of debt was obvious from as far back as 2019. We could see it coming. A president whose budget was creatively crafted to hide huge liabilities in order to present a favorable economic outturn to the world so that he could borrow more from the international capital market was evident for all to see. Appointment of family and friends into various positions in government, brazen interference to obstruct the fight against corruption, reckless abuse of the public purse, arrogance, and luxury in the conduct of public officers have all been characteristic of this administration since its inception in 2017. It didn't start today.
Right, and that's the former President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC flag bearer there speaking to us. My colleague Komla Kruche also live from the TUC head office providing details with that engagement with the Trades Union Congress.
Listen, you have up until close of the day to check whether your registration details were accurately captured by the Electoral Commission. The exercise, which began on November 3, is characterized by low turnouts. Despite the low patronage, there are now concerns some voters cannot find themselves on the register. We'll take you to some parts of the country to find out how things are shaping up. Today on Regional Hub, we bring you, the story from across the regions as far as the exhibition exercise is concerned. My colleagues have been monitoring the exercise for us in the various regions. Let's touch base now with our Northern Regional correspondent, Christopher Amwakon, Ashanti Regional correspondent, Evans Inkum, Irama Smith, who is also in the Western region, and Yvonne Nikwe in the Eastern region. We'll start off in the Northern region where Christopher is. Christopher, talk to us about how the exhibition exercise is rounding up in your region.
Yes, so generally the exhibition exercise, which started on November 3 till today, has been described as very, very low because if you go to the various exhibition centers in the greater Tamale area, you talk about the Sagnarigu area and the Tamale metro area, people are not just going out to check their information on the voter registrar. I visited a couple of the exhibition centers, and both EC officials and party officials who were there actually registered their displeasure over the turnout. Some of them spoke to me.
We'll bring it back when we do have that sound, but do talk to us really about what these people told you.
Okay, so basically they said that, especially the EC officials, they have been there since day one until today. Only a few of the names on the voters register, provisional register, have been cross-checked by the applicants, and so they go there in the morning. Sometimes they don't even get more than 3 people to come and cross-check their names, and so it is generally very low.
I see. Have you come across cases of people who have not found their names on the register in your part of the country?
Yes, because the turnout has been generally low, that incident has not been recorded. I don't know of other places outside the greater Tamale area, but within the Tamale enclave, that situation has not been reported. I'm just currently at the Tamale Metro EC office where I am doing this report from, and the EC officer told me that they have not recorded any such cases.
I see. Christopher, how about we find out from other regions what the situation is like over there? I told you earlier, I'll be going to the Ashanti region where Evans Inkum is standing by for us. Evans, if you can hear us, what is the situation with the exhibition on your end? Well, my understanding is that we do not have Evans yet on this subject, but obviously, if you do not check, Mawena, you cannot find your name on the register.
It's a concern that's come up quite strongly in
relation.
relation.
And hopefully, people are taking a cue. They still have some time today to go and do that. Go and make sure that their names are accurately captured on the list. Or maybe we'll give Evans another try and see if Evans is back over the Zoom connection with us. Evans, if you're there, tell us about how things are going in the pardon. Well, I do not believe that Evans can hear us at the moment, but there's still a few places to crisscross in the country, Mawena.
Exactly, and the concerns have been that the education level by the Electoral Commission was a bit low. Not many were aware of the fact that the Electoral Commission was exhibiting the voters register, and so a lot of people don't know, and for first-time voters as well, like we had George mention as well yesterday. A lot of the people
Let's check in with the Western region where Irama Smith is on standby for us. Irama, what's happening in your part of the Western region?
Register exhibition, and here in the Western region, they are expecting about 1.3 million people. As is being recorded all across the unit is very, very low. It's around here, and I'm at Esikado, a community near Sekendi. And I'm being told that not even a single person has come to check the register.
Me, for instance, I'm supposed to have about 446 people to check their names. But as it stands, it's only 25. So it's very bad.
What has been the culture? Do you experience more people coming in when the day is getting to a close?
No, they don't come.
As you can see, the place is virtually empty and the officers have been left to their own devices. This is Council Road and the officer is not here. I want to find out from the residents here whether they have any information about him. Mommy, good morning.
Morning.
Are you registered now?
Well, so baby.
Now, what started the war? The exercise. Nkofu ba obeteka.
Nkofu ba na report na enwo na onyim ho no. The wenyim wo ma na wa afro. It's a damn lawyer,
right? So so this is Second D. The situation is no different. So there's another center here at the Council Road in Second D, and the EC official is expecting 251 people to come and check for their names in the register. As we speak now, it's almost 11 on the final day of the exercise, and she has about 104 coming to check. So she's not even done 50%. But from our rounds, it looks like she is doing better than most. Many are blaming poor publicity for the low patronage of the exhibition by the public. But the Western Regional Director for the Electoral Commission, Efe Wilson, disagrees.
I think jingles are being played almost most of the radio stations, FM stations. We go to churches, we talk about it. We go to the communities, we broadcast about it. I mean, everybody, each and every one of us, one way or the other, we help each other to exhibit. When we go to funeral, we went to a funeral maybe last Sunday. We took the opportunity to tell people in the community, educate them about it. But like I said, most often than not, because it's like they have the card already. They know that my card did out, so I can vote. Come what may.
She's called on the public to take advantage of the exercise to ensure that they are not found wanted come 2024. Eroma Smith, TV3 News, Second D.
The Western region will be our last stop on Regional Hub today, but you still have time to go to the exhibition centers and find your names accurately captured, hopefully, on the register. This is News Central. When we come back, more stories. Don't go away.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Ladies and gentlemen, the third edition of the Ghana Digital Innovation Week is Ration Center, implemented by GIZ on behalf of the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, in collaboration with MASHA, Israel's Agency for International Development Cooperation, the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, and the Ministry of Communication and Digitalization, with the support of ITC and UNCDF, will bring together the digital ecosystem stakeholders on one platform to learn, share ideas, and network. Over 5,000 attendees, 50 exhibitors, and over 40 insightful sessions led by ecosystem actors. The 3-day event will bring together digital enthusiasts, policymakers, students, private sector actors, and many others. It will be preceded by regional events from 1st to the 3rd of November 2023 in the Northern, Eastern, and Ashanti regions respectively. Attendance is free. Register now at www.gdiw.com.ga. Let's meet from Monday the 6th to Wednesday the 8th of November at the Accra International Conference Center. See you.
In a world where every moment counts, one team stands ready to deliver the news that shapes our lives. A team driven by truth, integrity, and unwavering dedication. They travel to the front lines in the tireless pursuit of truth to bring you the world stories like never before. Get ready to witness the stories that matter. We have the most trusted voices in journalism who are committed to delivering accurate, balanced, and thoughtful news. TV3, best in news.
Prepare to embark on an epic journey. The stage is set, the lights are on, and the stakes have never been higher. Welcome to Mentor Season 12, the ultimate musical reality showdown, where 60 extraordinary talents will face off in a battle of passion, creativity, and showmanship. Show live every Sunday at 8 p.m. on TV3. This is TV3 Mentor Season 12. Welcome.
Mentor is brought to you by Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Mosquito Coil and Napa Foods Sense Body Spray.
Bell Ice, Vitamilk, Dragnet, Pepsodent Charcoal and Lemon Infused Formula and Pepsodent Natural Herbal Formula. Darling Lemon Drink.
Cheese, go down and pose for the picture. Crack, crack, crack. I don't dance slow, but I'm on TikTok. Crack, crack, crack. Go down and pose for the picture. Crack, crack, crack. I don't dance slow, but I'm on
Your height?
5'7".
Is it 5'6" or 5'7"?
5'7".
Sure?
Yes.
Should I come in?
Okay, my bust is 34, my waist is 28, my hip 45.
I asked you to give Pepsodent Charcoal and Lemon Infused Formula and Pepsodent Natural Herbal Formula.
McBrown's Kitchen shows this and every Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3.
This is still News Central here on TV3, and we're taking a trip to the Ashanti region now because abandoned and unattended to for months now, the state of the phase 2 of the redevelopment of the KGTM market has market women there up in arms. In the heart of the central business district of the Ashanti region stands a tall reminder of what should have been a bustling edifice attracting all the commerce within the middle belt of the country. The result, a capital city free from hawkers, unnecessary gridlocks and congestion. That reality, however, is only a half dream as the second phase of the KGTM market redevelopment has been left abandoned. The inaction has left many angered. This afternoon, we're live to the Ashanti region with my colleague Ibrahim Abubakar. But first, though, let's touch base on the timelines as we know it about this particular project, and that's coming up on your screens right now as to when the commencement of the second phase was expected. And so sword was cut for the commencement of work on the 2nd of May 2019. Work was to be completed in some 48 months. The new market will have about 10,000 business spaces, and we know that work has stalled since February of this year. A bit more details, and approximately 2,300 workers have been laid off as a result of the abandoning of work, and some of the workers, interestingly, were also engaged in the stalled Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital maternity block and the Kumasi International Airport project, all of which have come to some halt, and that the few engineers that are currently on site, but they've been left redundant. Let's go now live to the Ashanti region. Ibrahim Abubakar is live there for us. Let's get details as to exactly what the situation is. Ibrahim, you're there now. Talk to us about the site, particularly this afternoon.
Well, so Mauna, currently this is how the project site looks like. You can't find any worker on site. The only few people you can find around are security personnel manning the site. For on-site workers, all of them, as we speak, have been laid off because monies are not in for the contractors to resume work. Like you rightly said, since the beginning of the year, no work has been done here. And per the timeline, this project initially was supposed to be first quarter of 2024. Later, it was extended to by June 2024. We're expecting traders to have occupied. Now, since the beginning of the year, work has not commenced. What it means is that there is a possibility of extension of the work. And Mauna, currently, if you look at the roadside, you can see that the place is congested. Vehicle is having it difficult to be able to use the main road, all because traders have occupied the side of the road and even the middle of the road, conducting or plying their trading activities.
On the mention of the traders, we know that some weeks ago, a number of them had cause to address a news conference over the lack of progress in relation to this work. What is their position now, considering that after that, it appears nothing is still being done in that regard?
Well, Mauna, the last time we engaged them, they said they will stage massive demonstration. This time around, as we speak, tomorrow, they will have a meeting to conclude on the roadmap. So they say they will have series of activities just to draw the attention of authorities. I've been engaging with some leadership of the traders here in Kumasi.
We saw work being done, but unfortunately, since the beginning of this year, no work is being done at the phase 2. We had the opportunity of engaging the contractors. They tell us there is no funding. They are awaiting funding from the government. We've engaged officialdom at the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. They tell us that because Ghana has gone to IMF, there are no immediate funds for the continuation of the phase 2 market. And you and I will know that when it comes to Kumasi, trading activities is the heartbeat of Kumasi. We had anticipated that just as they had promised us that the work was going to be completed by the first quarter of 2024. But unfortunately, if a whole year has gone by and no work is being done at the phase 2, it's a worry to residents of Kumasi. And I think in the coming days, because we've had a lot of engagement among ourselves, we think that in the coming days, we are going to embark a series of actions.
Our politicians, I think, they don't respect us as a human being. More than 12,000 people trading in the central market. Now, look at them. Go and search for them. They are all trading in the roadside. Go to race course and see. We are deeply angered, but our concerns is in our mind. We don't talk. Maybe we show them down in the election day.
Those are some residents or traders, I should say, at the Ketia market. Ibrahim, just briefly, any responses from the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly to these concerns?
Well, it's all about money because this is a project that is being handled by the central government. So they cannot speak about it, but they said when the monies are in, then we are likely to see the resumption of work. So it's now currently 65% complete, and we are hoping that hopefully maybe by the end of the year or beginning of next year, work will resume on this project.
Right then, Ibrahim, with those details there, he's at the Ketia market for us this afternoon, providing details with regards to that stalled market project.
Now, chiefs of the North Tongu district are calling for immediate resettlement of displaced persons from safe havens. Now, thousands have been left displaced following the spilling of the Akosombo and Kpong dams, resulting in what has been largely described as a humanitarian crisis. With the water now receding from the affected communities and life now expected to return to normal, traditional authorities are demanding government intervention in the form of a resettlement plan for the displaced. Judith Brown is in the Mepe community this afternoon. She's joining us live with more on this. Judith, let's start with how the community is looking like now that the water is receding.
So I'm currently in the Central Tong district here in the Volta region. Prior to this, we had visited some communities in the North Tong district where the energy minister was making some donations. And of course, from what we've seen and observed so far, it seems that the water levels have receded drastically. And as a result, life is gradually returning to normalcy in these communities. Of course, they're still receiving donations as, of course, they lost a lot of things due to the floods. And so we saw that the Methodist Church had earlier donated to them. That's early this morning, as well as the energy ministry. And so basically life is returning to normalcy, as I said earlier, and things are starting to look a bit better for residents in these communities.
Have their mind set on what can be best help for their indigents. Talk to us about that.
Well, yes, the traditional authorities have also been here. For instance, we had the chief of Bator traditional area as well as the Queen Mother for the Mepe traditional area, and they have been expressing their concerns. Basically, what they are calling for is for the resettlement of persons who are in the safe havens. For instance, the Queen Mother of the Mepe traditional area has been telling me that it's a main issue for them because secondary schools have been on hold ever since the floods began, and so they are waiting for these people to be resettled so that schools can start again. So she's been speaking to me.
The resettlement, they are going to work on it because I hear a lot of information that the government have a good plan for us. I'm the one who mentioned that by 2 weeks' time we'll be moving to Segleme. But what the government have for us,
the mess is now very obvious. I think you should go to Mepe especially and see for yourself. So the minister is here, they've made promises, we'll hold them to those promises and hope something gets done immediately. But for now, we'll need some resettlements for those whose buildings collapsed, because we need to free the classrooms for the children to go back to school. So the resettlement plan should be very quick. Yes, so especially the secondary school. The primary schools, they are managing under trees and church halls and things like that. But the secondary school, they've not started at all because people are camping there. So we need them to hurry with the resettlement. Your name?
Mamaga Ajosriku IV is the woman you just had appealing for resettlement assistance for the people of Mepe. And earlier I was in a conversation with our Judith Brown, who is on ground after we hear stories of the water receding and seeing how people are trying to get their lives back together. But there's more news here on News Central. Mauna.
Exactly, and some news that we're picking through right now in relation to accident statistics. It's a big deal. Road crashes in the country. Grace Hamwa Ajiman is at a news conference. The indication I get by the National Road Safety Authority should join us shortly and provide the statistics as to numbers. Have we seen a decline in terms of the number of road crashes in the country per year, comparing this time as compared to last year? We'll get the details shortly for you if you stay with us here on News Central. We're back shortly with a bit more news.
It wasn't always this easy. When I was 26, I got my first chance to perform a surgery.
Can I have a selfie? Thank you so much.
So I was holding the scalpel. My hands were trembling.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can I have your autograph, please? Sorry, sir.
Yes, go on.
Well then, as soon as the senior surgeon entered the OT, Yes, Dr. Matur. I'll be there in 30 minutes. It's an important surgery. Rain check?
Sure.
They are in love, but will they be able to adjust?
Eternal Love shows Tuesdays to Fridays at 6 p.m. only on TV3.
Brought to you by Out Multipurpose Insecticide Spray and Quell.
Amele mami opesika dodo. Mami ne sumo sika to mini sane. Ghana government to po. I'm here no more. Omudika.
Who is this one?
He's my apprentice. I am the boss. You talk too much. I'm the boss. I'm the boss. Oh, Jadel, come here.
Come do an hour fall in love. I don't know how.
Apofi. Still.
Utalimu.
Onyemreda. You know you're of me, eh? My great-great-grandfather, my grandfather, then call meeting where they say Genesis, we give Kaneshi to you, make you rule.
Don't have your time.
Brabona here, bono. The nipo be come biano, ebe twem. Bibie twem akwa just nyame asem. War. They are coming for war.
They said they are coming for war. Me, I am buying something down there. I'm into import and export.
All Shall Pass, coming soon on TV3.
Welcome to the Know How Show, the only show you need to know, where we bring you science and technology tidbits. On this show, we bring you trending tech news, our unbiased opinions on global science and technology conversations.
Well, I think as time goes on, the app can only get better, but I was actually impressed with the first version of the app.
You know, that space, that AI space, is actually like a private space. You can actually share your thoughts and then it will advise you.
As we know, air moves around the Earth, and that's why we also have, different seasons. But heat waves are caused when air is trapped in the atmosphere. And simple DIYs you can undertake in your daily science and tech.
When you want to go to your settings, look for screen time. You should have a set password for your child.
Make sure to tune in and catch all the updates and conversations on science and tech you need right here on The Know How Show. I am Natalie, and we can't wait to keep you entertained and informed. So keep watching The Know How Show.
The Know How Show, coming soon on TV3.
Prepare to embark on an epic journey. The stage is set, the lights are on, and the stakes have never been higher. Welcome to Mentor Season 12, the ultimate musical reality showdown, where 16 extraordinary talents will face off in a battle of passion, creativity, and showmanship. Catch the Mentor Season 12 show live every Sunday at 8 p.m. on TV3. This is TV3 Mentor Season 12. The world awaits you.
Mentor is brought to you by Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Mosquito Coil and Napa Foods Sense Body Spray.
Bell Ice, Vitamilk, Dragnet, Pepsodent Charcoal and Lemon Infused Formula and Pepsodent Natural Herbal Formula. Darling Lemon Drink.
A man is only as good as his word, and well, politicians, they have many words, and sometimes those words come back to bite them. Many a time they justify their failure to keep their promises. Today on Ghana Remembers, we put the spotlight on NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia.
In fact, you can engage in all the propaganda you want, but if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you.
And so that's the Vice President, now flag bearer of the governing New Patriotic Party, on many of the things that he said back in 2015 in the lead up to the 2016 elections. But exactly what are the numbers? What are they saying now? Let's look first off at the exchange rate, because as at September 2014, a dollar was going for up to 3 cedis, 20 pesos. And then now, September 2023, just a mix up in the numbers there, 11 cedis, 93 pesos to the US dollar. And Ghana's debt stock has now risen from some 402.6 billion cedis since 2018. A lot more on the Vice President and the things that he said in the lead up to the 2016 election vis-a-vis what the current situation is now. In August 2020, he said that he doesn't believe that mobile money should be taxed, but there's been the introduction of the electronic transaction levy as well. Exactly what is the position of the Vice President to many of the things that he said as far back as 2016 in the lead up to the general elections and now? How well can he juxtapose some of these comments to the current developments now? Questions were seeking to pose to political scientists and historian with the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Pretty shortly, Professor Edu Jemfi, when he joins us for a conversation shortly. But that's what we have for you today on Ghana Remembers, a spotlight on the Vice President, on the things he said then and now, and whether or not he can be justifying some of these comments. There are those who make the argument for a rebranding, if possible, of the Vice President. Are these things that is being considered by the team that has been behind him all throughout the flag bearership of the governing New Patriotic Party? Are these things that they will consider amongst many things in the lead up to the 2024 elections? 13 months from now, what will be the things that the governing New Patriotic Party will be seeking to do to reposition the Vice President as the man to lead them to break the eight? We'll get the answers for you shortly.
Since the outbreak of the war on Gaza, several protests supporting Palestinians have been held in the South African cities of Johannesburg and Cape Town, where the
to our powerful leader, said Riyadh Halls, Allahu Akbar, Takbir! 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 Of Israel, even the president of America. Please pick it up. Jazakumullah khairan.
Our next stop on News Central is talking about that conflict in the Middle East between Israel and the Hamas group in the Gaza area. Now, African countries are gradually taking decisive steps to register their displeasure against how the international community is handling the Middle East conflict. Now, South Africa is the latest to join recalling its diplomats from Israel. This is to enable the nation assess its relationship with the country and a rise in civilian casualties from its war with the Palestinian militant group Hamas. Well, we should have had a quick soundbite on that, but we're unable to bring you at the moment. But this is really an important story going on in the world right now, and African nations are saying it's time to take action. We know that Ghana abstained from, the UN voting on this, and we decided we wouldn't take part.
Exactly, because we continue to take the non-aligned position on matters like this, but when the UN had that resolution as to whether or not there should be a ceasefire, the Ghanaian delegation voted in support of a ceasefire so that the refugees, persons who've been trapped within the Gaza Strip can get the requisite assistance as is required. We've seen protests even here in Ghana by the socialist movement as well, who are demanding a ceasefire. Yesterday, we know that the former minority whip, Muntaka Mubarak, went really hard against the United Nations as well in relation to the actions that need to be taken to help save human lives. At this particular point, the conversation has been around human lives and how, as much as possible, the casualties can be reduced.
Right. We'll see how, the pressure piles on the UN and the US especially, because we know that there have been protests in the United States as well. Protesters accosted a ship that was taking weapons and ammunition to support Israel. It's unclear if the ship was able to leave shore, but obviously, the people in the U.S. are also taking a position against their country's support of Israel. We'll see how it plays out on the global stage with the United Nations at play and in the center of this.
Exactly, Kemeni. But perhaps I think the positive is that the Rafah crossing in Egypt was open some days ago, nearly a week since it was open.
Indeed.
The first day, a number of individuals were able to make it through, and subsequently there's been the agreement to allow for them, some of these trapped individuals, make their way through the Rafah crossing in Egypt. For a lot of the Arab nations, they've taken a position and been asking and demanding that all of the bloodshed comes to an end. Increasingly, the UN will come under pressure. Antonio Guterres has tweeted quite a number of times, has made quite a number of comments as well. But as to decisive action that is to be seen, that has not been seen yet, and lives are lost.
I've got to say that the world is at a point where there's a lot of genocide going on. It's not just in the Gaza area. We know of Congo, we know of South Sudan. The global order needs to do something about it.
Exactly, Kemeni. That's our bulletin this afternoon, which came to you from our studios here on the John Hammond Street. I am Mawina Egbeta.
And I am Kemeni Amana. Thank you for your company. We're back with another great episode tomorrow. Do join us. Bye-bye for now.